Ladies and gentlemen, he's a child of God, a husband, NRA conservative, radical right-wing supervillain, and Twitter rock star. American by birth, Texan by choice, and a badass by nature. He's the owner of TomO'Halloran.com, O'HalloranMedia.com, and PatriotRadio.net. Please welcome Tom O'Halloran.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
And welcome back, folks. This is it. This is the Monday night edition of the Patriot Radio Show, and I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. I'm broadcasting tonight from my underground bunker deep. Now, you know what? I'm going to broadcast from up the topside in the fresh air. We don't have anything to do with agitation or irritation tonight. I have a real special show for you. Again, my name's Tom O'Halloran. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Sir_TPO himself. My primary blog is TomO'Halloran.com. When you get there, please be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, any other social media that you fancy. Also, while there, please be sure to follow my editor, Veronica Coffin. Veronica manages 14 websites on our network. I almost said 24. And without Veronica doing these websites, I wouldn't be able to do this show. You'll find her follow button at the bottom of each and every post. We're also on Facebook. We are at facebook.com/Patriot Radio Show. I'm currently on air 3 nights a week, but beginning next Wednesday, the first day of July, we are moving from 9 p.m. 3 days a week to 9 a.m. 5 days a week. So after tonight, there'll only be 3 more evening shows. I do hope you'll catch each of these. And the format will be the same. It will be Monday through Thursday will be this show, the Patriot Radio Show. Fridays will continue to be Jihad on America, where I cover the Islamists in America. I tell you who they are, what they want, and why you should be afraid. If you did not catch my show on the Muslim Brotherhood, my show Islam is Not a Religion, or my show on Islamophobia, please, please, please do yourself a favor, do me a favor, heck, do America a favor. Find your way to PatriotRadioshow.com. Catch all 3 of these shows. They will open your eyes. They will give you factual data. And they will give you an insight and perspective you've probably not heard elsewhere. It'll also give you a solid foundation upon which we build each and every Friday night. Each and every Friday morning going forward on Jihad on America. As I continue to pull back the mask of Islam and telling you what's being done in the name of Allah, both here and abroad. And I do the news about Islam abroad because it's a look into the future of what's in store for us here in America if we continue to allow the cancer of Islam to spread in the homeland. Keep abreast of my shows, listen to the live stream, as well as archives of any shows that you may have missed, all at PatriotRadioshow.com. Now, folks, I know you're listening. I appreciate you tuning in. Whether you tune in, listen to the show live, or whether you catch the shows from the archives, our numbers on both are going up substantially in the recent weeks, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But I'd like to appreciate it from the bottom of my wallet as well. We have expenses. Keeping this network alive, keeping it on the air, takes money. It takes money for equipment. It takes money for the studio I just built. As you know, I was building this for the last couple of months. Now the server, which is hosted at HostGator, but it's slowing down. It's sluggish as we update stuff to the different blogs. With all the listeners listening to the shows, it's slowing down. In the next couple of weeks, I will be upgrading to larger, faster servers. You can help tremendously just by going to the Amazon Marketplace right on the top of the web page. Whether you do it from TomO'Halloran.com or whether you do it from the Patriot Radio Show, anytime you want to buy something online, please go to the Amazon Marketplace on my sites. Shop there. You'll get just about anything you need from Amazon, and you don't pay a dime more than you would going straight to Amazon. But because you get to them through my site, I'll make a little bit of money each time you shop, and it will make a world of difference. I'd like to thank my sponsor for the evening. It's the Republic of Texas. Please find your way to thetexasrepublic.com. See what's happening in the name of freedom, in the name of liberty, in the name of restoring Texas as a sovereign nation. Many of us think it's too late to save America. The liberals have us going too far down the cliff. And it may be stoppable, it may be savable, but a lot of people have some serious doubt. But it's not too late to save Texas. And we're working on some things here to regain international recognition as a sovereign nation. And you will be seeing stuff about this in the news this very year. Things are picking up the pace, and we're not just fooling around. You will see some action for liberty. I've got a very special show for you tonight. My other sponsor, Dr. Dave Krupa, chiropractor, nutritional health specialist, all-around good guy, and a member of the Republic of Texas, will be joining us. In fact, he may have joined us. Dave, are you with me? Dave Krupa, are you with me? Well, he'll be joining us momentarily then, I guess. Dave Krupa, are you with me? It looks like he's there, but I don't think I see him. I don't hear him. There he is. Dave?
Yes.
There you are. There you are. What'd you do? Set your shoe phone down?
I was told I could talk to Johnny. Where is he?
Talk to Johnny.
This isn't the Johnny Carson show?
Okay. Smart Alec. I think we have a bad connection. We're going to lose our caller. Dave, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know we've talked about this for a while. I've been wanting to get you on. You got me about 2 months ago. You got me drinking raw cow milk. I don't mean the whole milk, folks. I mean raw, as in you can stand there and watch them milk the cow as they put it in the bucket and give you the bucket practically. This is unprocessed, straight from the cow milk the way God intended it. I feel myself having more energy. I feel myself looking forward to a glass of milk instead of the dread, hold your nose and drink it like I've been doing for 50 years. And I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate what you're doing with me, with my joints and all that. Would you give just, I've got a lot of questions to go over for the next hour, hour and a half, but would you give us an overview of your practice?
Mostly nutritional health care, family practice. Also, we do chiropractic. I guess my specialty is more the nutritional health care and doing family practice with natural products. And just like you mentioned, everybody that comes in the door, I try to get them to drink raw milk, kefir, eat raw cheese, real butter, raw butter. And many times just doing those kind of things, we improve on the quality of people's life right away. So in my practice, we see usually people that have tried everything. They come to me with a bag full of over-the-counter vitamins and minerals that has been just a waste of their money, and many prescriptions which been covering things up to the point that they just can't take it anymore. They're miserable. And so I get the pleasure of trying to put them back on the road of telling them the truth and working with them and getting them off all the bad stuff and saving them some money and helping them learn to eat again, because a lot of times they're afraid to eat things that are good for them because they've been lied to about that, especially the raw milk. So many people are afraid of raw milk, and it's just a blessing.
And as I understand it, most people that are sensitive to milk or have allergies to milk can drink the raw milk without complication. Is this true?
Oh, yes. Usually they'll tell you, well, I'm lactose intolerant, and what that means, and I'd say 99.9% of the time, is their body doesn't tolerate pasteurized milk because it's a dead food and it's bad for you. And some people's body is just a very, very sensitive measuring instrument for what's good and what's bad. And if they drink pasteurized milk or a pasteurized product, they have an immediate negative reaction. And you put them on raw milk and raw products, and it's like they can't believe it. They love milk again.
Now we've got a question out of the chat room from Veronica Coffin, my editor, my producer. She says, who or what is kefir? Isn't that a milk byproduct that's a probiotic?
It is one of those type of a probiotic, I guess would be a good description, that goes back to the beginning of time. And it's one of those things that when they make a batch, that the bacteria is passed on and passed on and passed on, that's making that milk into a probiotic. And it is a wonderful product. It's definitely an acquired taste, but you drink it because it's good for you, not because it has that wonderful taste of milk. But it is a very good product for your digestion.
Okay. And I thought that yogurt, because I eat a lot of yogurt. I've been making smoothies, fruit smoothies for a year and a half, 2 years now, every single morning, and I thought I was doing the right thing, but I find that the yogurt I've been getting, this Dannon stuff, is not as good. The stuff that I've been getting from the dairy, it's not as sweet, but it's a lot healthier because it has more live bacteria. Is this similar to the kefir?
Yes, it's a real product, and you can find in some of the stores a good yogurt, but a good yogurt isn't going to have the sugar and all the junk. You make it, you can add your fruit and whatever you like and give it all the flavor you want. But again, the dairy like Grauman Dairy that we both go to is a wonderful, wonderful place because they make everything right there, and it's as natural and healthy as it can be.
Right, and I actually stepped up from just doing the dairy stuff to buying all my meat, my beef, and my pork from them as well. So I'm enjoying that a great deal. So we've got a break to go to here in just a minute, but before we get there, as far as the dairy goes, is there a downside to avoiding the store-bought stuff? The milk that everybody thinks is so good because it's got this added or that added or the vitamin D added. Is there really anything left alive in real milk, in the store-bought milk?
The only good thing about any store-bought milk would be the whole milk. If it's organic, there might be some good fat in there because a lot of people are afraid of the fat, and unfortunately they buy the skim milk or 1% or 2%, and that's just a waste of their time and money. But if they're going to drink store milk, which I definitely recommend they don't do, the whole milk organic is at least a chance that there's some good fat, so you totally didn't waste all your money.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, stick around. We've got a whole lot more coming up. Folks, stay with us. Look in the chat room. There's a conversation going on. Be a part of the show. This is the Patriot Radio Show, tonight with Dr. Dave Krupa. We'll be right back.
Hi there, my name is Mark Cranenberg and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to talk about my favorite order from Chicago Steak Company. It's the Classic Prime Assortment. Alright, well let's open up and have a look what's inside. So right away we've got two 6-ounce filet mignons. If you know anything about steak, it's really rare to see filet mignons with that kind of marbling in it. Just beautiful steak. And then next we've got the two 12-ounce USDA Prime strip steaks. Just look at how thick these things are. They're just beautiful. Again, beautifully marbled, amazing steak. Then we've got two USDA Prime ribeyes. And if you like steak that is just mouth-watering, this is the steak for you. With all that marbling inside, you'll see it's thicker. The marbling is a lot thicker. That just means more moisture throughout your steak. Now we've got 6 USDA Prime top sirloin steaks. These are the steaks that everyone's going to love. And then we're moving into our next package. Next, we have 16 4-ounce gourmet Angus steak burgers. These are amazing burgers that everyone's going to love. And to top it all off, they give you 1 container of my favorite steak seasoning of all time, the Chicago Steak Spice. And you're going to love it too. So there you have the classic prime assortment, my favorite and your ultimate steak experience. So be sure to order your steak today at mychicagosteak.com. I'm Mark. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you next time at mychicagosteak.com.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Halloran from the Patriot Radio Show. If you're tired sitting on the sidelines and you want to get involved in turning this country around, if you want to actually have a hand in stopping the cancer of Islam that's spreading here in the homeland, do what I did. Look into becoming a Templar Knight. The Templars have been around for 1,400 years, and they're known as Christ's warriors. Become a warrior for Christ and see what you can do to fight evil. We don't carry swords these days. My sword is my microphone. Yours might be a newsletter, a telephone, maybe a blog. I became a Templar Knight with the Military Order of Solomon's Temple. Why not go to moost.org and see what you can do to make a difference? Because if we don't, who will? Thank you.
I reckon the storms are brewing. Reckon so.
Reckon you got a hotel?
Reckon no. Money's tight.
Reckon Priceline Express deals can get you a great deal, wherever you mosey.
You reckon? We reckon. I reckon our work here is done. Vamonos!
Express deals. Priceline savings without the bidding.
Think he's happy?
Oh, I reckon.
Boost Mobile believes you deserve more choice. You can pick your phone,
pick your plan, and
you can even pick a new spokesperson
and sell that phone.
The Samsung Galaxy S5 will rock your face off!
Give it to me through tears. Get unlimited talk, text, and data. Starting at $40 a month. Wow.
Pick your phone.
Pick your plan.
And pick your next spokesperson at boostmobile.com.
Tom O'Halloran.
We'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. All brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Of my red, white, and blue.
And we're back. This is the Patriot Radio Show, and I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. We got a special show for you tonight. We're on air with my friend, my sponsor, Patriot brother Dave Krupa, Dr. Dave Krupa from Houston, Texas. We were talking about supplements. I was taking some vitamin supplements, and I thought I was doing a good thing since I was buying expensive ones. And you told me that what I was buying was just as much crap as the cheap stuff. Would you expound on that a little bit, as though we didn't just do it?
Well, unfortunately, if you can buy it over the counter, health food stores, and some of the famous name stores out there, the names are right, but the quality is terrible. It's not anything what you need. It's not a type product that would work for you. If you want a supplement to help heal your body, it has to be from a whole food source. It has to be natural or organic, and usually natural is the same thing. But it can't be like a perfect example is many companies sell what they call vitamin C. What it is ascorbic acid, which is like the eggshell to vitamin C in nature that protects the whole food complex. They'll sell ascorbic acid. People buy it all like crazy thinking they're buying vitamin C, and it's basically like they bought eggshell and threw the egg in the trash. So all that kind of stuff, you just waste your money and you make yourself sicker.
Okay, and on your supplements that you prescribe for your patients, do you have a lot of disclaimers on them? We're going to solve this, but we may cause this, this, and this?
No, we don't have any of those problems. When you feed people good, natural, whole food supplements and herbal products, the only side effect you may ever have is if somebody's taking a prescription. Those prescriptions might cause a problem, but the whole food supplements never do. And unfortunately for a lot of people, they're taking prescriptions thinking they're good for them, and there's nothing good about a prescription. The only time you should ever take something from the pharmacy is if you're in the emergency room and it might save your life, because at that moment all bets are off, and God bless the emergency room people because that's a specialty by itself. Or if you're having excruciating pain from something while we fix what's wrong or heal what's going on, you might need a temporary medicine for pain, but we also have natural pain medicine. Other than that, there is no medication that you're deficient in. There's none of them that are good for you. And if you're on medication and you've been told by a doctor that you need this, that's not true. That's about sales and marketing. And maybe in their defense, sometimes they don't know any different because that's what they were taught. But never, ever have I seen a medication that I would have prescribed even if they paid me extra money, because you have to have no conscience to do that.
Wow. Okay. Now I want to roll back the tape just a little bit on one more topic before we move forward, because we had you muted. I didn't do that. Somebody came through the mixer and did it. Somebody from the NSA, I'm certain of it. But we were talking a few minutes ago about meat. You've got me eating grass-fed beef and pork. And I had asked you, what is it that they feed the grocery store animals that makes them so marbled and tasty?
Well, they pump them up full of all kinds of grains, corn in particular, and they know when they do this they can fatten them up. Plus they're giving them hormones and antibiotics, and they're anything that you can think of bad, they're feeding it to them to fatten them up. That's all they care about is what they weigh at the scale. Unfortunately, even some of what our government considers organic, they allow them the last 30 days to do a lot of things that they don't allow them to do previous. So you can have a lot of chemicals added in the last 30 days. In some cases, it's not that good.
And
that's why.
And these chemicals are passed on to whatever or whoever eats the animals, right?
Yes. And I just saw in a chat room a perfect example from your producer, Veronica, about I went off my diabetes meds and sugar went through the roof. That's because she didn't do anything to fix it, and the prescriptions didn't help her, and the diet probably changed a little bit. But if you're eating some of these products that's got all that in there, it's going to mess up your body, damage your pancreas, damage the thyroid and adrenals, and so your digestion won't be right, and you're not going to fix a blood sugar problem just by getting off the medication. You've got to do something to heal it. And so if you're eating these things, it's passed on to you, it's passed on to your children. It's a bad cycle of a domino in the negative direction.
Huh. Okay, let's talk about cholesterol. I know for a while it was cholesterol is bad, and then they said, well, it's good, and then there's a good and a bad. Give us a straight skinny on this.
Well, what happened with cholesterol is years ago they discovered Lipitor. I think it was their first one. And they found out Lipitor would shut down the liver so it didn't make cholesterol. But cholesterol is made by the liver for a reason. And the brain is one of the biggest consumers of that cholesterol, and every cell in your body uses cholesterol, and the hormones are made by what they tell you is the worst, the LDL. They call that the bad cholesterol, and that's the most important cholesterol in the body. So they came up with Lipitor, and they said, instead of telling people that your clogged arteries are from poor nutrition and lack of vitamin C, let's tell them that it's cholesterol causing their arteries to clog up, and then we'll convince everybody to take cholesterol. And they came up with a number. They said if it isn't below 250, you need to be on this medicine. Well, Lipitor shuts the liver down, so now it looks like when you're doing a blood test that you're healthier because the Lipitor doesn't let the liver make cholesterol. And so the numbers look good on a blood test, but blood tests are pretty worthless. And you want the cholesterol. There's a big push, and you mentioned it earlier, about vitamin D. Every commercial now is talking about vitamin D, and it's a synthetic junky farm. But they're pushing that because if you're on a cholesterol medicine, you're not making cholesterol, and when the sun shines on your skin, it converts cholesterol to vitamin D. So they're panicking that they got all these people on these cholesterol medicines, and they're killing them. They want to do a blood test every 6 months to make sure they don't damage your liver too bad. But cholesterol is critical. When I've seen people long-term on Lipitor and different statins, I always see some kind of brain problem, dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and cancer usually is somewhere in there. I have never seen good anything come out of taking a Lipitor or any kind of a statin for cholesterol. Cholesterol is way too important. The liver makes it. That ought to tell us something. And I usually tell patients, if you believe in God and you think the liver is doing something it shouldn't, then you must think that he's really screwed up. And I don't think that way.
Yeah, I kind of don't think. Well, maybe with the avocado seed, but other than that, I think he's been right on. We've got some more coming up, folks. Please stick with us. Dr. Dave Krupa is in the house, and we'll be right back. This is the Patriot Radio Show, Monday night. Please stick around.
Girls, I know the one place where you are guaranteed to find a great guy. You know, the kind of guy that carries you off on horseback and flies you to Paris and likes to talk about his feelings. He's at the movies. Well, in the movies. Where else will you find a funny architect with airbrushed abs? Girls are lining up for guys like this, but not you, because you bought your tickets ahead on Fandango. So adios, long lines, and hello, handsome astronaut, brain surgeon, spy.
Make a date with Fandango, your ticket to the movies.
Family night at the movies is a tradition. It really bonds us together. I love you guys so much. Especially this one. I mean, of course, there's all the, his popcorn's bigger than mine, and she's hitting me. Fandango makes it all so easy with tickets in advance. Honey, you enjoy the chick flick? Kids, you enjoy the animated movie? Daddy's gonna go watch things go boom. That's how we do family movie night.
Bring your family closer together with Fandango, your ticket to the movies.
Girls, I know the one place where you are guaranteed to find a great guy. You know, the kind of guy that carries you off on horseback and flies you to Paris and likes to talk about his feelings. He's at the movies. Well, in the movies. Where else will you find a funny architect with airbrushed abs? Girls are lining up for guys like this, but not you, because you bought your tickets ahead on Fandango. So adios, long lines, and hello, handsome astronaut, brain surgeon, spy.
Make a date with Fandango, your ticket to the movies.
Family night at the movies is a tradition. It really bonds us together. I love you guys so much. Especially this one. I mean, of course, there's all the, his popcorn's bigger than mine, and she's hitting me. Fandango makes it all so easy with tickets in advance. Honey, you enjoy the chick flick? Kids, you enjoy the animated movie? Daddy's gonna go watch things go boom. That's how we do family movie night.
Bring your family closer together with Fandango, your ticket to the movies.
Boost Mobile believes you deserve more choice. You can pick your phone,
Pick your plan, and
you can even pick a new spokesperson
and sell that phone.
The Samsung Galaxy S5 will rock your face off!
Give it to me through Tears. Get unlimited talk, text, and data. Starting at $40 a month. Wow.
Pick your phone
Pick your plan
and pick your next spokesperson at boostmobile.com.
Visit Boost Mobile through the RER Marketplace.
Patriots, have you ever wondered why Google, Yahoo, AT&T, Comcast, and so many others offer free email? Who offers free stuff these days? They do it so that millions will sign up with them. Then as these people send what they think are private emails, the emails get scanned and tagged according to the content of the emails. These companies then sell your email addresses to companies that are selling things that you may be interested in based upon the content of your emails. If you're a veteran or if you have a vet in your family, go to usvetmail.net. Get an email address, your name at usvetmail.net. It's not only private, but it shows pride in your veteran or your pride of service. We never scan our clients' mail, and we never, ever sell or share your information with anyone. Thank you.
I reckon the storms are brewing. Reckon so.
Reckon you got a hotel?
Reckon no. Money's tight.
Reckon Priceline Express deals can get you a great deal wherever you mosey.
You reckon? We reckon. I reckon our work here is done. Vamonos!
Express deals. Priceline savings without the bidding.
Think he's happy?
Oh, I reckon.
Tom O'Halloran, holding the line against tyranny from Washington, D.C.
And we're back. This is the Patriot Radio Show, and I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. We've got a special show for you tonight. On air with us is my friend, Dr. Dave Krupa. Dave, you still there, brother? And we have... Go ahead. Okay, why don't you address that before I take us off course a little bit here?
Okay, I think what people forget is just like with diabetes, staying away from carbs and sugars is again like you missed the train and you're running down the track after it. So much junk was in the food that it damages the liver, the kidneys, the pancreas. It interrupts digestive enzymes, stomach acid. It messes with the adrenals and thyroid, the pituitary, the hypothalamus. Everybody gets screwed up. And after you do, then you can't tolerate anything, good, bad, it doesn't matter. There are a lot of good carbs. There's no reason you can't have a drink. I think everybody should drink a little. It's good for you. Staying away from all the carbs and sugars is not the answer. It's staying away from the processed crap, the carbs and the sugars that aren't good for us, that aren't from whole cane sugar or dark chocolate.
Okay, and we talked about bread just a week or so ago when we were at lunch. You said bread is okay, but not to buy the bread that has a shelf life of some 300 years.
Yeah, you want bread that comes from the freezer or the refrigerator, or you want bread that is like sourdough bread that's a fermented bread. We process that and it doesn't have all the bad stuff. But just to change your diet and think I'm staying away from carbs and sugars and eating nothing but vegetables and fruits isn't going to fix the problem. And fruits can be a problem, especially if they were grown with synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. So it's not always just the sugar. Natural sugar is okay. The body will deal with it. But once you got to a point where they tell you you're a diabetic, and I love it when they tell them you're a pre-diabetic. You either are or you're not. And it's just a matter of a number on a blood test. And blood tests change. But I've seen drastic things. My mom came to visit a few years ago, and she was told that she had high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and she was in miserable shape. We treated her for 30 days, and she went back home and went to her family doctor, and he said, all these things have cleared up. It's not possible. And she said, well, I forgot to tell you, my son's a doctor, and I had him help me when I went to visit. And he said, it's not possible. And she said, well, do I look like I changed anything else or I exercised? Because at that time she was overweight, and she was just starting to try to get healthier. But she hadn't done anything but let me help, and we start healing the body so it could try to deal with this problem.
Huh. That's impressive. Now, you've met my dogs. Well, I have one dog. My wife's got a little poofy thing, which I don't even care. I wouldn't spend money to get him good food. The only thing I'd really feed him is to the wolves, coyotes. But my dog is a boxer. She's the sweetest dog in the world. She's a big scaredy cat. Does any of this health, nutrition, common sense transfer over to dogs? Or is it just a waste of money, a waste of good food and good supplements?
Well, the problem is, and one of the sponsors on my show does this, Nature's Logic, is many people make a very good dog food with the main ingredients. And then they add the synthetic vitamins and minerals as a preservative, and so it defeats the purpose of any good food they put in there. And just like with us, the poor pets, they're eating this food because it's all we give them. And if we don't do better, then they're not going to do better. And the worst thing about them, just like with the prescriptions, is many people who love their animals have the dogs on heartworm. And we even call it a heartworm medicine, which is a great misnomer. Many of them have arsenic in that food and the heartworm stuff that they give them. And so you're slowly poisoning your dog little by little every time you give it that medicine. Now, the vets would like you to believe that every mosquito is going to bite your dog and give it heartworm and he's going to die. Well, if that was true, there'd be no dogs on this earth, because heartworm, I call it poison, they call it medicine, came around a long time after dogs were already here. And they were surviving just fine. Now, I do treat my animals. I spray them with a natural insect repellent a couple times a week during the summer, and I treat them with natural things like organic garlic and some products from my office that are for parasites. So if anything's in there, I help take care of it, and I give them things for their digestion to keep that good. But it's very important for them, just like for us, to get the good food, the good meats, the good fats, and you don't want them to get the synthetic vitamins and minerals in most of these dog foods.
For the same reason we don't want to get it.
Right.
Okay. Very good stuff. And of course, the dog food that you're talking about is available from the link on your website, which is DocKrupa.com, your radio show.
Yes, the gentleman is named Scott. He used to be here in the local Houston area, and he started a company called Nature's Logic because he wanted a food that was good for the animals with none of the junk in there. And he puts absolutely nothing that isn't 100% organic, natural foods. And I've been recommending it to patients now for I don't know how many years. It's 10, 11, 12 years maybe. and I give it to my animals, and it's just healthier for them. They live better when you don't give them the shots and you don't give them that heart poison that they call medicine, and you feed them a good food. They'll live a long time. One of my dogs made 16 years, and that's a long time for most dogs. They usually don't live that long, but I treat them like people. I put supplements in their food throughout the week. I give them spring water to drink, and I take good care of them just like I try to do people.
Cool. Yeah, Ronnie was talking in the chat room. I remember we were talking just last week. She just lost her pup of 17 years. Tough to lose. Tough to lose. Let's talk about alkaline versus acidic. I didn't know we had the variety in our systems. I thought we just were people and that was it. But these are adjustable modes, if you will?
Well, the body will adjust itself. Unfortunately, people think about acidic as a bad thing, and so they think that they need to go towards alkaline. But if you have gas, then that only exists. Those organisms only exist in an alkaline medium. They don't exist in acidic. If your pH in your stomach acid is at 2.0 or below, you can't even break down your minerals. So it doesn't matter how good you eat or what your source is. If the stomach acid isn't acidic enough, you're not breaking your food down. And so your food, this is where we run into a lot of people think they have acid reflux and all the different GERD. They have a lot of names for it, but what's happening is their food isn't breaking down because they don't have enough acid, and it's backing up. And the acid backing up, they think they have acid reflux, too much acid, so they'll take a Tums or a Prilosec or an Nexium, and they make it worse because now you've neutralized that rotting food, but you're still not breaking your food down, and you've made it even worse. And if it doesn't break down properly, you can't feed yourself. And I always consider it like a very, very slow death because you're not getting any nutrients because the food doesn't break down properly.
So again, the medicine is masking the symptoms rather than solving the problems.
Yeah, because if you eat something and you feel that burning, that tells you didn't have enough stomach acid. Now, very, very rare you may have an ulcer that could cause a similar symptom, but it's real quick to figure that out. But I'd say 99% of the time, people are feeling the food rotting, and it's creating an acid and backing up. And what we find is, like, if you're sick with a cold or a flu, you're more alkaline. If you have more of an acidic base, then you don't have the problem like that. And when you see gas-forming organisms, alkaline. Food tends to balance it. The body takes care of all this between breathing and digestion, and the blood maintains around a 7.4 pH. And we don't have to regulate this stuff. If you could try to eat one way or the other, but the body is going to balance it pretty good. Meats tend to be more acidic. Vegetables tend to be more alkaline. So I always recommend to people a balanced diet. You shouldn't eat just one of anything. You ought to have a little bit of variety on your plate. But trying to regulate acidic and alkaline, not a good thing because the body does it for us.
What about stress and stomach problems from the chat room?
Well, yeah, if you're having stress, you can cause all kinds of problems in your body. You're going to mess up everything, and stress makes the hormone cortisone go through the roof, and it upsets your sleep, so digestion's off. You have to understand, stress is like the fight or flight, and if you are under a lot of stress, you're not going to break down your food. You're not going to have normal digestion, so you're going to have the rotting food, the backed up acid, because your body is trying to deal with stress. And the way your body works is it shuts down everything non-important if we're stressed or afraid for our life and we have to run. And that's what's happening with stress, and so it can destroy people. So we do a lot of work on taking care of people with stress and getting the hormones balanced. In the old days, we would call it mood swings. Today they say bipolar when people are going from one extreme to the other so they can sell a medication. But it's just a simple hormone imbalance. And if you straighten that out, a lot of times the stress goes away. If somebody's under a lot of stress because of a job or something stressful in the family, we can still help deal with that. But it will mess up your digestion. It will change everything.
Wow. Okay. I want to give out your contact information. Folks, please stick around. We're going to run long tonight. I've got a number of other topics that I really want to make sure that we touch on before we let loose of the doc. So we're going to come back. We've got, like I said, other topics. But his website is drkroupa.com. And his show, he does a radio show. Doc, when is your show?
It is Wednesday night at 7 p.m., and it is Dr. Krupa's Natural Health Hour.
Okay, and what's the website address for that?
It is dockrupa.com.
Okay, so you've got the DR for the website and the Doc Krupa for the radio show. Folks, stick around. We've got a whole bunch more coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is the Patriot Radio Show with Tom O'Halloran and special guest, Dr. Dave Krupa. Please stick around.
I reckon a storm's a brewing. Reckon so.
Reckon you got a hotel?
Reckon no. Money's tight.
Reckon Priceline Express deals can get you a great deal wherever you mosey.
You reckon? We reckon. I reckon our work here is done. Vamonos!
Express deals. Priceline savings without the bidding.
Think he's happy?
Oh, I reckon.
My husband Clint is a gourmet cook, but we don't have a gourmet kitchen, at least not in our home. That's why when we go on vacation, we rent a house from HomeAway.com. It's part of what makes HomeAway so unique. Finding and booking a vacation rental at HomeAway isn't just easy and free for travelers, it's also fun. You can pour through photos, read descriptions, even search maps to make sure a property is near the attractions you want to enjoy. White sand beaches, golf courses, snow-covered ski slopes. Not only do we have more space to be ourselves, we save money, which we can put towards the next vacation. To get started, just put in your travel dates, decide where you want to go and how much you want to spend. Here's where it gets fun. Tailor your vacation to your likes. We've rented beach houses, one even had a private pool. That was nice. There's even a HomeAway app for your phone or tablet that works as seamlessly as the website. Choose a house that fits your family. Double the kids up in bunk beds, or give them each their own room.
I love bunk beds. What I don't love is listening to the person on top squirm around all night.
I love bunk beds. We prefer a house with a big screen TV, so we can have movie night.
Whose turn was it to choose the movie?
Oh, come on, Mom. The kids love this stuff.
I get lots of attention. But it's not always the right kind of attention.
Hey, shake that thing.
And that's why I went to GoDaddy.com and built a website that brings attention to some of my other assets.
Hey, sweet cheeks.
Like teaching self-defense classes.
Whoa!
GoDaddy! You want a piece of this?
Tom O'Halloran has a not-so-common core spelling lesson for the Obama administration. Ready? There is no K in America.
There's kids that can't pray in school, $100 tanks of gas. I can tell you right now, this country ain't supposed to be like that. No, that ain't my America. That ain't this country's roots. You wanna slam, hold on to Sam, but I ain't letting you. Yeah, I'm mad as hell, and you know I still bleed red, white, and blue. They ain't us, and that ain't my America. Oh no, that ain't my America. No, 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 that ain't my America.
And we're back. This is the Patriot Radio Show, and I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. I'm on the air tonight with my special guest, my good friend, Dr. Dave Krupa, chiropractor, nutritional health specialist. Dave, are you still with us?
I'm here. I'm reading your chat room, and
Outstanding. What would you like to address from there? Something about pain relief, maybe?
well, no, I'm looking at Veronica talking about a live multivitamin that is mostly synthetic, fractionated, no good. I wouldn't give it to her if they offered me extra money. If you look up the ingredients for it, you will find that it's got vitamin C as ascorbic acid. It has vitamin E as a tocopherol, which is the eggshell for vitamin E. Calcium is a carbonate, which isn't natural for us. So those are not good vitamins, but they make a very good commercial. They have a very good ad. And if you just look them up and don't know the ingredients or what you're looking for, it looks like a good vitamin, but it's not.
But you have something in the lines that you carry that would treat this same stuff in a more natural, more effective manner, right?
Well, yeah, the difference is things like Alive don't do anything. There's nothing in there. As soon as you see a company uses ascorbic acid, then you know that anything after that, even if they say I'm using broccoli, well, if they're using a synthetic fractionated vitamin, then we know that they didn't take any effort to use a good natural whole food like broccoli. They probably used something from a synthetic fertilizer and a pesticide. So the products that I use are all natural whole food. They only sell to licensed doctors with an education in this field and a crazy passion to do things the right way, and you want to help people and not just take money.
Okay, let's address that for just a second. A medical doctor, Veronica in the chat room said that her old doctor used to take this very stuff himself personally, but not all doctors are schooled in this. If somebody's doing general practice or another specialty, if they're not specializing in nutrition, would it be just as easy for them to fall prey to the marketing as it would be for a layperson?
Oh, yeah, they do it all the time. I had a lady come to me not too long ago with a bag full of probably about 25 products, and 10 of them were from a doctor's office with his name on the bottle, and they were about the equivalent of that Alive. And the doctor doesn't study that. They're not taught that. Everybody goes to the same medical school. The only difference is when you get to your specialties. Well, our specialty was chiropractic and nutrition and natural kind of things, and theirs is pharmaceutical. So we all had to study pharmaceutical, but they live and breathe it, and it's in their scope of practice. So even if they wanted to study what I do, they're not really allowed to do that because it doesn't fit the scope of practice, and the big business is the pharmaceutical company. So you can call up anybody's vitamins and look for some key things. Always look at calcium, and if it doesn't say calcium bicarbonate, which is natural, it's found in raw milk and spring water, then you know it's not a good form of calcium. You'll see calcium carbonate, and that's bad for us. It's chalk or limestone, basically. You'll see vitamin C, as ascorbic acid, and then you'll see vitamin E is in mixed tocopherols. Those are the eggshells protecting the whole food source. So those three products, if you look in your vitamins and you see that, you know you're wasting your money and it's not good for you. So, and then I see in the chat room somebody said better off eating broccoli. It depends on where it came from, and if it wasn't warmed up with a microwave before they served it to you. But the difference in our products is they work. Years ago, when I was even dumber than I probably feel today, people wanted me to carry their products. Everybody finds out you're a new doctor in practice, and they want you to carry their products. Well, in the beginning, I didn't know enough fresh out of school, so I tried different things. And once you start learning ingredients and the forms of these vitamins and understand what the names mean, not just a general name, and see the results, you come back over and over again to Standard Process and MediHerb, which are the two companies that I use. It's just like with the Nature's Logic for the dogs. There's not many companies that truly care enough, because it's all about sales. And sales makes up for a lot of conscience, I guess. Now, me, I have to look you in the eyes, hopefully the rest of our life. So it's important that when I treat you, I'm treating you, you're part of my family. And I'm not going to give you anything for the sake of sales. If it doesn't work, if I haven't seen it proved, if I don't take it, then you're not going to get it from me.
Interesting. You talked on vitamin C a few minutes ago, and I felt that this is one that I wanted to hear a great deal more on, so I saved it for a separate topic, if you will. Will you talk more on vitamin C, where it comes from, what sources we should look to, whether it be supplements or drinking orange juice, and if orange juice, which ones off the shelf are good for us? And even more important, not importantly, but more detail, does the pulp matter for nutrition?
Well, when it comes to juices, the majority in the stores have been pasteurized. So again, if you find an orange juice or a lemon juice or whatever you might have liked, if it says pasteurized, you don't want it anymore. There's no real benefit left. They've killed it with heat, and I'm not sure why, because you go up to a tree and pull an orange off of a tree and eat it. If that tree hadn't had synthetic fertilizers or pesticides, that's the best you can get. That's natural vitamin C. Kroger, who I like because they were ahead of the curve before anybody was doing natural, they were. And a lot of their stores now has a machine where they take the orange and make juice right there in front of you.
Nice.
No pasteurization. So to me, vitamin C is going to be that one thing that they're going to look back one day and they're going to say that was the answer to just about everything. Vitamin C has got the power, whole food vitamin C, not ascorbic acid, which is eggshell. But whole food vitamin C is probably going to be the main thing that would have kept everybody healthy and could cure a lot of things. But it's got to be all natural. It can't be from synthetic fertilizer. It can't be from pesticides. It's got to be natural as God intended it. And all your vitamin C, if you get it like that, is going to be good for you. And I tell people all the time, one of the reasons arteries were all clogged up was they started looking like raw ground beef, and one of the natural vitamin C deficiencies caused a lot of that. So instead of giving them natural vitamin C and healing them, we gave them things like stents to clog artery, even worse, or we told them that you needed a cholesterol medicine. But to me, vitamin C is the answer, and it's probably going to be that great mystery that we always knew about. So I tell people that vitamin C, to me, is the most important thing of all those nutrients out there.
I just noticing in the chat room they're talking about a store called Sprouts. I just discovered it the other day.
Yeah, Sprouts is good. Whole Foods is good. Kroger has got a great section. They were doing it before there were stores like Sprouts. But you have to watch. Even in all those stores, you'll find things that say organic, that are not. You'll find things like canola oil, and it'll say all natural canola oil organic. Well, canola oil is bad for you. It's a poison, and it's not even a natural source. It comes from a rapeseed plant, and it stands for Canada and oil. And they'll say that's organic and natural. Well, it's not a good thing for you. Many of the foods that we get, you just have to be careful and try to find out where they're coming from. But a lot of times, a natural farmer, a rancher, won't go to the trouble of getting the stupid government paperwork to say organic, but he's growing and processing and producing better food. He just didn't get that label. So if he tells you it's natural and he didn't use pesticides or fertilizers or antibiotics, then that's where you want to be buying it, whether it's said organic or not.
Okay. Fruits. I buy a lot of frozen berries for my smoothies. Are the frozen berries going to be as good or better, or does it make a difference compared with the fresh fruits?
I think fresh is probably always better unless it's fast frozen, and maybe that will seal everything in, and then it needs to be in like a vacuum pack so we don't lose anything. There again, when I go to Kroger and I make a smoothie, I buy the organic frozen because I want it to make the drink cold, and I want it to be good berries. So they have a full line of organic frozen the fruits and vegetables, so you can make any kind of a smoothie your taste buds like.
Oh, nice. I'll check that out. Next up, water. You and I talked on this a while back. You noticed I had the wrong water in front of me. I always thought there was two kinds of water. There's water for the battery, which was distilled, and then everything else was the same, but not so.
Well, yeah, right about now, you and I ought to be enjoying that water that comes with scotch, but the best water is spring water. It rains from the sky, it goes through the earth, and not so much a filter as an imparting. The earth imparts minerals and trace minerals into that water, and then spring water just mysteriously pops up all by itself in different places. That's what I recommend to everybody. I've known patients that drank alkaline and they drank distilled, and, not very good. Purified water is better than drinking the chemicals, but the trouble when we use reverse osmosis or any kind of a filter is you don't get out fluoride, and sodium fluoride's the bad one. Calcium fluoride's found in spring water, and that's okay. But you don't get rid of the fluoride. You get rid of a lot of maybe some of the chemicals like chlorine and ammonia, but you also take out too many good things. So when we drink water, nature sees that and your body sees it like a vacuum. And anytime there's a vacuum in nature, it tries to get filled. So if you drink distilled water or purified water, filtered water, your body sees that vacuum and tries to give it whatever it needs to make it whole again. So if you're drinking a lot of that filtered water, distilled water, that kind of thing, you're going to rob from your body. So here you are trying to hydrate, and you're stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't have good sea salt in your diet, the water is like pouring water on a rubber boot. It won't be absorbed because water follows salt into your cell. And when you and I were kids, every sports team had sea salt tablets on the field. Today, they've convinced people that salt's bad, and kids are passing out like crazy because there's no salt for water to follow it into the cell and truly hydrate us.
I always thought those pills, the salt pills, were to make you thirsty just so you would drink. I had no idea that it was a chemical thing to get the water to be absorbed. No idea.
Well, yeah, if you notice, every rancher has to have what they call a salt lick out there for the animals. And nobody tells that animal how much they can lick that salt. They'll lick it as much as they need. But by doing that, they get the sea salt's got so many important minerals and trace minerals and a little bit of iodine, natural, and and it helps where the water now can get into the cell and hydrate us. So the people that stay away from salt, table salt you need to stay away from, but good sea salt, if you stay away from that, it's very bad for our body, and that's another way we get depleted.
Yeah, we replaced our table salt with sea salt several years ago. I was stunned by the difference in flavor, that it's so much more enjoyable to eat. So we changed that out.
Yeah, it's wonderful. The very best, you'll have people tell you about all the different sea salts, but when I looked at a chart on the one that has the most of everything, it's always Celtic sea salt. And that's the one I carry in my office because that's what I use.
Celtic, C-E-L-T-I-C?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As an Irishman, let me enlighten you, my friend. The word is Celtic. Okay, it's not a basketball team.
Well, it might have been on the other side of the pond.
It is the Celtic sea salt. The only thing Celtic is a basketball team. Where is this available? I don't recall seeing the brand in stores that I've been in. Is it a Whole Foods or a Sprouts brand?
You know, I'm not really sure. I've been carrying it now for years because I found it years ago in one of my nutritional seminars, and the patients are really smart. They will test you when you're in a consult.
Yeah.
And at the end of the consult, they would say, okay, now you told us all that. What do you use? Well, I would show them I had whole cane sugar, and I had Celtic or Celtic sea salt, as you might want to call it. And they would say, well, we want some. Well, I didn't used to have it, so now I carry it so they can buy it. But it's fabulous. The taste is so good. It enhances anything you put it on, and it's good for you on top of that. So it's a pretty wonderful combination.
Cool. Now, what about when family members or friends try to direct you to what you need to do? Well, I had a bad back and I took this because my doctor said do that, so you need to go do this. What advice do you have to people to keep them from doing unnecessary things or improper things to their system?
Well, I always tell everybody, a lot of people are going to give you advice, and they all mean well, but they don't do well. You know, it's like all of a sudden everybody's a doctor.
Yeah.
And they're giving all this advice. Well, I tell people all the time, I am the doctor, and I spend most of my time feeling really stupid. It amazes me how smart everybody all of a sudden becomes. And you'll get on the internet, and people don't realize that most of the stuff they research comes from places that are hidden, like WebMD. Even if it's not listed, they're the back door. And so their whole goal is to steer you towards pharmaceutical stuff because that's where the money is. And when you see the elderly today, they're being told they need to be on all these medications. Well, that's not true. We're killing them. We've ruined the golden years.
Yeah.
What used to be where grandma might work the farm till she was 100 years old and not even slowing down, today, if they're in their 80s, they're on so many medications and they're afraid to go outside because that's what every commercial tells them. And now we've got commercials saying that we've come up with programs to remind you to take your medicine because it's such big business that they don't care if it's good for you or not. You better take it. So I tell people, you know, take it with a grain of salt what your loved ones say, but come see some crazy guy like me who's going to tell you the truth and wants the best for you and help you fight like hell.
And again, the number that I heard last week was 700,000 deaths a year from authorized doctor-prescribed medicines. That's outrageous.
Oh, of course.
That's
because they don't care. It's just they're taught. You walk in with A, I give you B. If you complain about B, I give you C. I had a gentleman come to me a few years ago, and he was on 20 medications, and he was on 5 high blood pressure medicines, which is the worst thing you can do because it destroys the heart and the rest of your body. And the first thing he told me because he came to see me because somebody recommended him, but he didn't really want to come in. And he said, I'm going to tell you right now, I hate all you son of a bitches. And I said, well, if I was taking that many medications, I'd hate all of us too. And then we start going through it, and I said, well, why are you taking all this? And he said, well, they said I needed it. And I said, well, they lied. So within a short time, we had him backing off of stuff, losing weight. He was playing golf in the seniors thing, and he won a couple tournaments. And his life improved just by backing away. But they had him so screwed up that he was taking Ambien to sleep, and he still could only sleep an hour a night. That's how messed up they had him.
That's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I tremendously appreciate you sticking around and letting me go through a couple of those questions in the second block a second time because of the mute button having somehow stunned your answers. Do you have anything else that you would like to put out? Anything at all?
Well, anybody with any medical thing that ever comes up, you're welcome to call me, and I'll answer your question and try to help you make a good decision. And that doesn't cost you anything. It could cost you a lot if you don't talk to somebody like me who's going to tell you the truth and who's seen miraculous things happen. It is amazing. If it comes from the pharmacy, they're allowed to say it's a cure, and there's no such thing. There's nothing that cures. It covers up and makes you think you're getting better while you're dying. But if it comes from whole food and natural things and products like a doctor like me uses, you'll feel better because you're getting better. And so don't let people scare you or talk you in unnecessary surgeries. Nobody that's listening right now should be on a medication. And if you are, let's fix the problem and get you off and make you healthy, because what you're taking is hurting you, and it's going to take you away from things you love to do at one point in time, and you'll be old long before you are. So find somebody like me. Hopefully you'll come see me and I can help you. If you haven't figured out by now, I truly love this, and it's a passion, and I want to help as many people as I can. That's one of the reasons we do the radio show. That's why I was glad to come.
Are you there? Dave?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You cut off there real briefly. And I know you well enough that I know that you would rather somebody call you, get advice, even to the brand to look for, even if they don't buy it from you, you would get the satisfaction just knowing that somebody is moving in the right direction.
Oh, yes. I just saw in your chat room, Veronica said about her doctor won't give her things unnecessarily. Well, there's never a need, ever. Because if you have a problem, and it's not about, she mentioned a single answer, nothing's ever a single answer. If this was easy, everybody would do it. And that's why I said the more I study and the more I learn and the more I work with people, the dumber I realize I am. But I keep plugging along, and we make a difference. But there is no excuse for anybody to be taking medications other than until you find out from somebody like me that there's a way to correct what's going on and we can help you. It's a shame we can't say that we can cure anything, because sometimes things just disappear, and I guess you have to say it's a miracle, but no medication's good for you. It does so much damage, and that's why when you see it on TV, the commercial is mostly full of the side effects and the negatives, but they kind of try to smooth it over, and they want the rest of the commercial to look good and make you forget about it. So that's the big thing. They can call, they can go to the website and contact me, and they can always get me through your show. So we'll be glad to help. I just want to help people make good decisions. If I do my job well, they don't have to come see me very often.
There you go. Folks, that's Dr. Dave Krupa. His website is DrKroupa. His radio show on Wednesday nights is at DOCKROUPA.com. Dave, I thank you, brother. I appreciate you being on. I hope some of these people that listen to this will call you, will reach out, will visit your office, and keep you very, very busy, my friend.
Well, thank you, Tom. It is always a pleasure. You have a great show. Keep up the good work, and I'll be listening.
Good. Stop by my Amazon webpage and go buy something.
Yeah, I think you wanted me to buy a car last time we had that conversation.
Well, yeah. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for tuning in. This was Dr. Dave Krupa from Dr. Dave Krupa's Wellness Hour at DocKrupa.com. Good night, America. God bless you and yours. This is Tom O'Halloran. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.